Okay, so welcome back to the second part of the lesson on solving linear systems of equations using the substitution method. And so at this point you should have made an attempt at example 1b and also example 2, the word problem. What I'm going to do is take you through now a solution of that so that you can check to see if you understood. Okay. And so once again we have our system over here, 3x plus y is equal to minus 7, minus 2x plus 4y is equal to 0. As suggested in the steps for solving, ideally what we want to do is pick an equation that has got one of the variables with a coefficient of 1, and so that's what we have in the first equation. And so what we're going to do is use that equation, and I'm going to rearrange that equation to isolate y, and so I'm going to do that by subtracting 3x from both sides, and so y is going to equal minus 7 minus 3x. Okay, and then what I'm going to do with that expression is substitute that into the second equation, and so my second equation, minus 2x plus 4 multiplied by y is equal to 0. And what I'm going to do is, in the place of y, I will substitute in minus 7 minus 3x, because that's what y is equal to after we rearranged the first equation. And now what we're going to do is solve the resulting equation with one variable. So it's only got x's, and we're able to solve at this point. So we have minus 2x will distribute minus 28. 4 times minus 3 is going to give us minus 12x, and that is equal to 0. And so what I'll do at this point is to add 28 to both sides, and at the same time I'm going to combine the like terms. So I have minus 2x minus 12x is going to give me minus 14x, and on the right hand side I'm going to have 28. Of course the 28's on the left hand side will cancel, 1 plus 1 minus, and then as per usual I'll divide by the unwanted coefficient, and this gives me my x value of minus 2. Once I know that x is minus 2, of course this is only part of the solution. I now need to substitute that back in to my expression for y so that I can find out what the y value is. And so therefore y is equal to minus 7 minus 3 times x. We have established that x is minus 2, and so we can say therefore y is equal to minus 7 plus 6. Minus 3 times minus 2 gives us plus 6. Y is equal to minus 1, and we have our solution, x equals minus 2, y equals minus 1. Of course, as mentioned before, the solution can be written in the form of an ordered pair. Okay, what we'll do now is go ahead to the word problem, and so first and foremost, so the only difference in the word problem, of course, is that the additional challenge is for us to be able to establish our linear system in the first place by translating the given information into a linear system. So we have businesses who pay website hosting companies to store computer files. Internet service providers also offer this as well. So we have an internet service provider who offers the service, and a website hosting company, and so the costs are provided in the table below, and what we want to do is find the total number of months after which the cost for website hosting will be the same. Okay, and so we have a monthly cost over here and a setup fee, and so I'm going to say TC for total cost is going to equal 10 plus 21.95 m, and I'm going to be using m to represent the number of months because this is a monthly charge of $21.95 from the internet service provider. When we look at the total cost from the website hosting company, and so the total cost from the website hosting company, they do not charge a setup fee, but they charge our higher monthly fee. And so this is the total cost of our internet service provider and the total cost of our website hosting company. And so we have a system of two equations with two unknowns. The two unknowns are total cost and number of months. And as you can see in both of these cases, our variable is already isolated, so the total cost is already been isolated. And so in order to solve this system, so the question that we've been asked is to find the total number of months after which the cost will be the same. And so if we equate those two costs, then we would be able to solve for m. Of course, this is effectively the same thing as a substitution. We are substituting in the 10 plus 21.95m in the place of total cost because we want those two to be the same. And so we end up with 10 plus 21.95m is equal to 22.45m. And we now have our equation with only one variable or one unknown. And so we can now solve. And so 22.45 minus 21.95 leaves us with 0.5m. Divide by our unwanted factor. And we have m equal to 10 divided by a half, 20. And so if m is 20, ordinarily at this point we would substitute back in to find our total costs. The question does not actually ask for total cost, it just asks for the number of months. And so in this case actually we don't need a full solution of our system. Our answer is simply after 20 months the cost will be equal, and we don't need to establish what that cost would be. Okay, hopefully that's making sense to you, and if it is, your task at this point is to go ahead, get your textbooks out, and my suggestion would be to start with the level 2 assignment.